How's it going, backpackers? My name is Dave and this channel is called Off Grid, and on this channel I like to talk about all things backpacking, hiking, camping, and gear. And I got another first look coming at you guys today, and man oh man am I excited to show you this one, so let's just jump it up right here. This is the Mariposa 60L by Gossamer Gear, and I just got this one in and I'm really stoked to bring this one to you. This has been out I think for a little bit now, so let's just dive right into all the different features here because I don't want to drone on too long. It is made out of 100 and 200 denier Robic nylon fabric. It weighs, so I ended up getting the medium. You can get a couple of different sizes based off of your torso length, but I ended up getting the medium, and there's a couple of different weights and things to kind of take into account. They've got a back panel right here which doubles as a seat. I really like that there's two different mesh pieces here and it fits really well in here. I think this is actually an updated panel as well because I've seen a different one that is more textured. Actually, Jeremiah Stringer showed me his, and his was a little bit more textured, so I don't know if they have a different one that you can choose or if this is just the new one that they're going with, but this one definitely seems like it's contoured a little bit more towards the frame that's inside of this thing, and maybe it prevents it from bunching up a little bit more. So again, you can double up as a sit pad with that as well, and that's really cool. It also comes with, like I mentioned, the internal frame on this thing too. So all in on the weight with everything that you just saw here, it ends up being with a belt on it as well, about 31.5 ounces. That's a medium-sized belt and then the medium-sized pack. But the way that I plan on using it, I'm going to end up using a different style of sit pad with it, so I'm probably not going to use that. I'm also going to get rid of the internal frame because while the internal frame works for particularly heavy loads, I don't plan on having a ridiculously heavy load when I go out there normally, but it's just nice to have it, and it's also nice that you can remove that frame, so that's pretty cool too. But I plan on getting rid of both of those things and just kind of using my own sit pad. So with none of the two accessories there, with the back panel and the internal frame, it ends up being about 6 ounces lighter. So from 31.5 ounces down to about 25.5 ounces. So that's actually pretty lightweight. This is basically my first mid-tier, I'm calling it, or mid-level backpack, where it's not really a beginner backpack and it's not really, you know, the ultra lightweight options that are out there that are also ridiculously expensive. Oh, speaking of price, let me just get into the price on this guy real quick too. So they list it at $285 online, which really isn't that bad. Definitely hunt around for some discount codes for this. I used the discount when I purchased it, and I ended up getting, I think, somewhere around 15 to 20% off, something like that. So a pretty decent deal on this pack for a mid-level pack. So what else can I talk about on this thing? Let's just kind of like go around it now and show you all the different features that are on it. So we've got your sternum strap right here that has an integrated whistle into it. That's really cool. It has, kind of looking at the straps here is the first piece that I'm looking at. It has load lifters on it as well. I was actually torn between this model and their 50-liter, a little bit smaller Gorilla pack, but the Gorilla didn't have the load lifters, and I really wanted the load lifters, so I ended up going with the Mariposa. The straps here off to the side do not have the traditional daisy chain, which I'm kind of bummed about that. But they do have a few different options. They have these little loops here to kind of go along with the sternum strap, and then they have another horizontal loop up at the top. So that's pretty cool. It doesn't give you a lot of customizing options to hang stuff off of. I really like to hang a bunch of stuff off of my shoulder straps, from like a pack towel to my satellite device to my thermo drop to whatever else. I have Hilltop Packs, you know, shoulder strap that I like to throw on there too. So I like having different options for that. So I'm a little bummed about that, but it's not that huge of a thing. We've got a really thick buckle down here in the front. What I really enjoy is the fact that they come with these elastic bands that kind of go around the strap, so that if you're tightening it up a little bit more, you can kind of fold it in and put it in that elastic band, and you won't have the straps kind of going out, you know, a little bit in front of you and possibly hitting you as you walk. They're not that long anyway. Maybe with the larger belt it would be a little bit longer, so I don't think that would be that huge of an issue anyway, but I just like that they included that. It's really nice. The pockets come come included with the hip belt as well. It's integrated, I think, into it. I'm not sure. You might make, I don't know if you're able to actually get rid of the belt. I don't think you can. It might be integrated into the pack, but don't quote me on that one. They are decently large, not as large as my 3FUL gear packs pockets, but those are pretty huge pockets. But these are actually a really good size as well. I'm able to fit my Google 6 Pro phone in there, which is a really large phone, larger than probably what I need, but definitely fits in one of these pockets if you need to do that as well. I think that's pretty much it for the front. They have the carry handle right here. That's pretty good. And the load lifters work really nice. Let's move our way around the pack. So on one side, they have, I'm not sure if you can really see it, but they have a really large pocket right here for bigger things. So think about, you know, your camp chair, maybe your tent, trekking poles you can kind of throw in there, which is really nice. Anything that's just larger. And then on the other side, they actually went with a split pocket design. So they've got an upper pocket right here, and then they've got a lower pocket down here for your water bottles. The upper one, I guess you can put maybe your cook pot in. That's what I'm going to try to do. See if I can throw my Jetboil stash pot up in there. If you're wondering, this is not a pass-through pocket, so this is actually stitched right here. So you can't like put a trekking pole down into the bottom pocket and feed it through the top. I know some models of backpacks have that and this one doesn't. What I really like are all the different loop attachments that they have too. So kind of coming back to the hip belt, they have a loop attachment right here. So in case you wanted to attach like a fanny pack or something like that. We've got loops over here too as well, kind of running up the sides. They have two sets, one right here, one right here, and then on the other side as well. And that's really good because what I'm gonna end up doing is probably getting some shock cord, particularly for maybe this taller pocket, or maybe I don't even need it because this pocket is really huge. But if you wanted to kind of like strap something, maybe you didn't use the pocket on this side and you're just using the water bottle pocket and you want to put something that goes really up high, you have these loops where you can just attach some shock cord and kind of latch those down really well to your pack. Over to the back panel now, and they've got the more traditional stretchy mesh pocket. Let me get the top lid out of the way here. So a really big space in here. It stretches. It's made out of a stretchy material as well, so that's really good, or depending on how you look at it. Some people don't care for that and they want more of the harder fishnet style that's fixed and doesn't stretch, but it doesn't really bother me either way. We've got a couple of other sets of loops right here, again for the shock cords. And then down here, making our way to the bottom, we've got a couple of different options here for, I think this is supposed to be for your trekking pole. And, you know, Jeremiah in our trip to the Smokies had mentioned that one of the things that they don't really have is an option up top here. So if you want to stash your trekking poles on the back panel right here, there's no way to do it unless you were to, like I said, put that shock cord right there in order to make that happen. And they have an ice axe loop right here for all you winter folk out there who like to use ice axes. And I don't know anybody who does, but I'm sure there are people who do. Now it's making our way up to the unique, I guess, brain. I'm calling it like a top lid because it's not your traditional brain because it doesn't really detach. This is all one piece here. I'm sorry, I gotta try to get it into the frame here. It goes up pretty high, as you can see right here. They have a small little buckle right here that kind of comes across and makes it a little bit easier for you to just flip the brain back down. And then also, before we get into the inside, and there's not much to talk about there is a little zipper right here on the outside, which I really love because that's why I'm saying it's kind of confusing. It's sort of like a brain, but not really. It have this top zipper where you can stash some extra stuff up in here. So I'm gonna probably put like my electronics and things like that up here. This material is not 100% waterproof, so you kind of have to keep that in mind. But this is a really decently sized pocket. It's pretty big. It doesn't go out that far, particularly if you have a lot packed in here, but it's just really nice. It's really large and really nice. So that's good. So I'm definitely gonna get some use out of that. And then the inside here is just your traditional, so they have like, again, this small little buckle here, but it's just your traditional, you know, top load. There's nothing else in here that I can see other than, I think they have a back panel reservoir that's kind of going up against, let me see if I can peel this out here and show you. That kind of goes up against, this is the internal frame that you can take out, that Velcro right here that is really easy. You just take out the Velcro and just snake this out, and I was able to do that pretty easily. As far as taking it out, putting it back in was like a teensy bit difficult, but not really that difficult at all. You've got a little water reservoir loop right here that you can put stuff on if you're using a water reservoir, and then they've got the back panel for your reservoir as well. And then the main compartment here is that's just it. There's nothing else on the inside as far as like organization goes. But that's just a really quick run through of this guy. And there's a couple more loops right here with the buckles inside too. But I'm really looking forward to using this one in the field. So let me give you a little bit of what I'm excited to try out with this pack and why I ended up going with this pack real quick. One of the first big reasons is ease of use. One of the biggest things that I learned on my recent trip to the Smokies was the fact that some of my pieces of gear just weren't as easy to use. It's not that I didn't know how to use them, but it just ended up taking me a little bit longer to kind of like do straps or configure my tent or my cook kit or whatever. So my backpack was definitely one of those areas that could have been easier to use. So I love the 3FUL gear pack. It's really nice. It's a good entry-level pack, but this one is not only lighter, but it also is just a little bit easier to use. And what do I mean by that? Well, just the fact that this is not your typical roll down top design, I really like that about this. It just kind of buckles in. So that's really easy. You don't have to sit there and like try to roll it down. You're literally just, clip these over and you're good to go. I really enjoy that. The other thing too is that it doesn't have as many straps on it. I don't know if you can really tell based off of the footage and what I'm showing you right here, but all you really have here on the front are your adjustment straps. And that's it. There's no straps here on the outside as well. Like I had mentioned, if you want to attach a shock cord, you can do that, or your own straps to the side, but they don't come with them, which basically means that, you have to configure it yourself, which could be a good thing, it could be a bad thing, depending on how you look at it. I actually look at it as a good thing because if I put shock cord, even if I do put an extra strap on this, it's going to be easier for me to just kind of configure rather than putting like another thing like this on it, which is going to add more weight, another buckle system, which is just a little bit more finicky. It's just more straps and things kind of hanging off, and I don't really care for that. So I really dug the more simplistic design of this pack, and again, overall, I think that's going to go a long way in just the overall ease of use, like I had mentioned. So really excited to try this one out in the field. I think this ends up weighing somewhere around 6 ounces less than my 3FUL gear pack. So definitely excited to shed some of the weight there too. And yeah, I mean, I don't think this is the prettiest pack, to be honest with you. Full honesty, full disclosure there. It's not really that beautiful of a pack, or the color scheme is not really, one that I would necessarily pick, but it works, and I think it's going to be really comfortable for me when I'm out there. But I'm gonna let you guys know all about it when I get this guy out in the field, and then I'll do, obviously, a longer term review when I get to that point. But thanks so much for watching this week, guys. I really appreciate you. If you have this pack, let me know down below. If you want this pack, let me know down below. Let me know all your experiences with any kind of Gossamer Gear pack. This is my first time, and my first foray into Gossamer Gear just in general. But let me know all about it in the comments down below. And remember, guys, if you're headed off grid, make sure you do your research and you make it a safe one, and I'll see you on the next one. I really am digging, like, trying to figure out